Hi guys, welcome to Monday's workouts. We've got a bit of a chipper workout for you today. So we've got 6 rounds. Each round is going to be the first 2 exercises the same. So you're going to do a 400 meter run into 10 meters of handstand walk. After each round, you're going to do 20 repetitions of a weighted exercise. Round 1, you're going to do 20 thrusters. Round 2, you're going to do 20 clusters. Round 3, you're going to do 20 shoulder to overhead. Round 4, you're going to do 20 deadlift. Round 5, 20 sumo deadlift high pull. And round 6, 20 lunges. Okay, so it's going to depend on what type of equipment you've got for each movement. You might only have a barbell, you might only have an odd object, or you might only have a dumbbell. If you've got variety, then you can pretty much pick and choose what you want for each exercise. If you've only got one piece of equipment, like a barbell, try and choose one weight all the way through so you're not having to quickly change over weights, detracting away from kind of the idea of the workout that will be continuous movement. Okay, so just for example, let's go through the movements if you have a barbell. So thrusters, nothing too complicated. What we want to see is we want to see a squat clean, or squat clean, so we want to see you bring the bar to the shoulders, a full squat, and then all the way overhead. So we want to see that bar from the shoulders, squat, overhead. If you're doing it with a dumbbell, you've got a choice. You can either do single arm dumbbell thrusters, so you could do 10 on one arm, 10 on the other, completely up to you. If it's fairly light, that might be a good option. Or you can choose to do dumbbell thrusters with a dumbbell at your chin. Odd object thrusters are a little bit harder, so you're going to have to try and focus on kind of like using a weight that you can do for this. Try not to go too heavy with it. So where we're taking the sandbag to the chest. Now that's quite a light sandbag and that's still going to be challenging. So again, maybe kind of like choosing something a little bit lighter or having a couple of odd objects, a couple of rucksacks with different weights in. Completely up to you. Exercise number 2 is going to be cluster, which is a squat clean thruster. Okay, if you struggle with squat cleans, you can do a power clean, front squat, thruster. Yeah, so 1 or 2 options of what that's going to look like. Option number 1, taking the barbell from the floor. That will be 1 repetition. Two repetitions. Or if we struggle with the squat clean, we can do power clean, front squat, push press. What does that look like if we're using a dumbbell? Well, again, if it's quite light, you can do single arm. So we could go from the floor, squat clean, push press, touch, squat clean, push press. If it's fairly heavy, or we just don't want to do single arm exercises, we could do a head cutter into a thruster. So sumo deadlift high pull, overhead. Sumo deadlift high pull, overhead. Yeah. Similarly, if you're using a sandbag, that's going to get very taxing very quickly. So again, we probably want to see clean, front squat, push press. Again, just off a few repetitions, I'm absolutely knackered. So it's going to get quite tough just by doing that much movement. Shoulder to overhead, that means you can do press, or push jerk. Yep. So we could go strict. We could do a little dip of the knees. Or we could rebend the knees and catch with the arms locked. Exactly the same with the dumbbell, the kettlebell, or the sandbag. Again, we tend to find that sandbag, shoulder to overhead, sometimes people find it challenging to fully lock out, especially if we can't choose how wide our hands are. The object might be very small in terms of like narrow. Some people might struggle locking out in that position. Next one's going to be deadlifts. Again, if you're doing barbell, ordinary barbell deadlifts, If you're doing kettlebell, you can either do two-handed deadlift, or you can do single arm deadlift. Completely up to you. And again, if we're using a sandbag, you can do sandbag deadlifts. Nice and fine. Sumo deadlift high pulls. Again, if we're using knee tracking. Again, if we're using a dumbbell, we could do single arm or double arm, making sure that we're coming to the right height. Completely up to you. With a non-object, it's going to be quite tough to do a sumo deadlift high pull if you can. Let's say you're using a rucksack, we could use the rucksack handle. If you're genuinely using a sandbag, we might be better off doing sandbags to the shoulder. So we're taking the sandbag to the shoulder. Nice and simple. Lunges, up to you how you want to do your lunges, to be honest. You could do front rack, back rack, Zercher holds, overhead if you're crazy. So we're taking that barbell to the shoulders, alternating the legs, and it's 10 each leg. We can do it in overhead position. We can do it behind the back, allow you to breathe a little bit more. We could do it in a Zercher position. He says doing squats. Completely up to you. Again, if we're using kettlebell, we could do goblet lunges, single arm rack lunges, overhead lunges. Completely up to you. And if we're using a sandbag, any variation of sandbag lunges is also okay. Now, handstand walks. We've only included 10 meters of handstand walk. A couple of scaling options. Scaling option number 1. If I can do handstand walks, but I don't have the amount of room, I could do multiple lengths of 5 meter. Okay. Again, we want to see a decent handstand walk in here. So if you struggle to do handstand walk, look at one of the scaling options that's available to you. You could do walk into walls. Kick up, and then we're going to just try and gently walk in towards the wall until we can touch our heels against. Now, depending on how far away from the wall you are for that, is going to depend on how confident you are. Again, if you're finding that after your 400 meter run, you're already kind of like calming down your breath or anything else, then maybe kind of like go with a fewer repetitions. Okay, so let's say for example, you've got it in your head that you're going to walk into that wall 5 times, but you're having to take kind of like a large amount of rest in between each effort. Let's just scale it back and maybe just do 1 attempt. If you're finding that you can walk in, back out, kick back up again almost immediately and back in, maybe go towards kind of like the 3 or 4 or 5 repetitions. Other option is going to be that we're doing wall walks, so we're just going to walk up the wall in order to take my shoes off. So we're going to start here, we're going to walk up, and gently back down. And we're going to say for every 10 meters of handstand walk, we want you to be doing 3 wall walks. Again, if you're not too confident doing 3 in a row, scale it right back, just do 1 or 2 repetitions. If you're not confident going all the way up to nose touches the wall, try and just go to a point where you can hold a good position. What do we mean by a good position? You don't want to be overarched. We want to try and tuck your ribs down towards your hips and a nice strong core all the way through. Okay, so a bad repetition would be if we are here instead of here. So nice hollow position, relaxed arched position. Good luck, guys.